Does anyone want a copy of the report? These, a chance at the first one.
All right, it's now 10 o'clock. We will open up the Washington County Planning Agency meeting for Tuesday, August 30th, 2022. Call the meeting to order. Roll call and determination for a quorum. We have the list of participants.
So with Allison and Sam, we have a quorum.
Okay.
James Griffith and Deb Donahue are not present.
I apologize, Allison. I don't think I've done that before. I have to see them all. Nice to meet you.
2 out of 3, the chairman makes up the difference.
All right, so we're good to go there.
Because a clever attorney wrote the law that
Every once in a while, a genius comes out.
There you go.
That's right.
All right, so the first project that we have to discuss, I guess, is DML 239 Planning Agency referrals. for the town of
Yes.
Granville.
We have 2 projects from the town of Granville to review. The report was sent out describing them. The first one for consideration is in fact the old Manchester Wood Building in the town of Granville. It is being taken to be developed. This is public now, so I can say this. It's going to become an Amazon distribution warehouse. There's not that much work that's going to be done to the site. The work primarily consists of adding additional parking spaces and then some interior work, which will really consist of removing some partitions, et cetera, to turn it into warehouse space. So there's not a lot of impact. They did all the traffic studies. Because that was one of the questions that the local planning board had. They do not expect it to have significant traffic impact, although the town of Granville did request routing the trucks along certain routes to avoid traffic in the village, et cetera, which they agreed to. So if anybody wants to take a look at the site plans, they're here. But again, Amazon, they were very well prepared. They satisfied the local planning board as to all of the impacts that might potentially arise from a project like this. And it's all presented here.
And there was shipping, probably not on the scale we're talking about. It was manufacturing.
It was manufacturing before. They were a major supplier to LL Bean and other large companies. So yes, they did. And they had significant warehouse space there as well as manufacturing space. So there was trucking along that road.
So yeah,
That road also has other commercial buildings along the road. So it's not, that particular stretch is basically a commercial stretch anyway.
So someone wants to make a motion in some way or another, and then we.
If there's no further questions, I mean, again, we didn't see any major impact to county, but if somebody would like to propose possibly a matter of local concern, then that's up to the board. Unless there's other questions.
None for me.
not for me as well.
I would make a motion that this is a matter of essentially local concern.
Okay, we have a motion. I will second that.
Okay,
All in favor? Aye. Aye. Opposed?
okay.
Carol. Carried. Sorry. I got a little too back today. I don't know how to talk.
Okay, the second project is also a town of Granville project. This is it's a farm that does truck repair, and they do repairs to heavy duty commercial and farm trucks. Basically it's addition 2 to 3 trucks of traffic, so no significant impact there. Let's see, I think, oh yeah, so the reason that it came to us is essentially because it's within 500 feet of State Route 22 and it's near a farm. So again, it's not a large project. and not anticipated to have significant impact.
They're just 2 to 3 trucks are being added.
Right. And again, it's just a repair shop. So, you know, in terms of repair shop and in terms of handling oils and other equipments, they're gonna have to follow all DEC regulations, so that's DEC's concern, not ours. And there is, in the application, if you want to take a look at it, there is a drawing of what it would look like. It's 3 bays.
And all these materials are too.
Yes. So I probably do not go into as much detail as Pamela typically does.
The building's the same, so they're doing the same kind of work now, it's not an expansion of the use, it's just, they're gonna be taking, instead of servicing their own vehicles, they're gonna be taking vehicles, the same type of vehicles.
Correct, yeah.
Interesting, I see that's the property of Walker Bailey LLC.
Well, yeah,
She's the agent that's working.
the MGK Enterprises is the applicant, but you're
Right.
correct, the owner of the property is Walker Bailey. And again, that makes sense because they were previously servicing farm trucks only, but what they're doing is they're taking in additional heavy equipment.
There's been no, well, I don't think there's been complaints, I don't think service them about the more trucks that they. So that's one of the complaints I had before, they go down before they leave their, as they go to spread, that's just spreads all over the place.
Right.
And some of them become a little hazardous. I mean, just, it's wet to begin with, and especially all the travelers coming from out of the area that don't anticipate running into it. It's there, and then the next thing you know, you got cars off the road.
Well, I will say what I'm not sure of is because they are already servicing farm trucks. I guess what I'm unclear on is whether they are going to be servicing additional farm trucks and commercial trucks, like i.e. with that manure problem.
Servicing the truck.
Well, I think we would, because it says, yeah, it says, I mean, first of all, we say I'm not opposed to this, okay, I'm just curious if that's a good question. Because I just had a complaint about it the other day. Farm company provided repairs to heavy duty trucks, currently services their own machinery and vehicles to expand the open, so yeah, so. And I guess it kind of answers my question, but that would open it up to other words. Yeah, I certainly can support it. That's just a concern that I have, and some people may voice it as time goes on, is that, you know, that those types of vehicles in traffic, you know.
Yeah, it does say,
I don't find that as a reason to oppose it. Just,
yeah, it does say that it would be curated new businesses and they're anticipating up to 3 or 4 additional businesses they would serve. So I don't imagine that there would be substantial additional vehicles. So would you like me to make note of any recommendation back to the planning board?
no, I think, I mean, that's their, it's kind of a local issue. I mean, if they're where they wanna, that's okay. I mean, we have a right to fight farm law in Fort Hammond, you know, and then so we've always been able, for lack of a better word, utilize that when people want to have a change, to say that they're, but it's a business, and you know, the ag business, they have to get into the field somehow.
That sounded like a motion.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say, I can make that motion, then that goes to that.
That's right.
Okay.
So the only, oh, sorry, go ahead.
Opposed? Carried.
Almost went too fast there.
That's okay.
So the only other thing, we had 3 APA notices, 2 of them, and all were in the town of Fort Anne. 2 of them are projects that are, applications are completed. Both of them, one of them was a major project, and that is shoreline stabilization. Another one was a minor project, which is a subdivision. And then the third APA notice was a new application in the Fort of Anne, which is an expansion of a single family dwelling. So Sam, like, those basically, we do those at the planning meetings because APA is required to notify potential stakeholders because as I'm sure you know, the APA acts as a planning board and has jurisdiction over projects within the blue line.
Well, we have
So this is
one-
just a courtesy public notice.
Very good. I just have a story about Travis Port Way here. I got a phone call last week that it's open a dirt road that goes back in. It's all right away to go back into all the camps and things that are in the homes. And it recently had in the last 2 years or so, they've had I think he told me 3 multi-million-dollar homes come up and they tore down the camps and they put up the camps. And apparently this year, one of the two of the homes said they were going to put in $50,000 to have their little blacktop put in there. And then they were going to build the rest of the residents. So I had 2 lines of complaints. One complaint that came in was the fact that he was calling on behalf of himself and the other neighbors that they weren't going to pay for any blacktop because there was no contractor. They hadn't, had any verbal discussion. And I said, I did yourself an attorney. And then the other one was these people that lived there from generation to generation. Their concern was that, there was reason for the potholes in the dirt. That way the cars slowed down so they could walk their dogs, they walk their kids, those kind of things. So I said, this is not a town issue. That's what we can do about it. Then I said, has anybody reached out to the APA to see if they can give permission to blacktop that? I don't know if they need to or they don't need to, because that's what the phone call. He said, well, that may be too late to start next morning, tomorrow morning.
It's a private road then.
Yeah.
It's a way.
I just have a general question. Because of the way the town and county lines go, are all these shoreline, do they get referred to do they need 239 reviews then? Because they are, it's technically on the county boundary. Well, if Bolton goes all the way to the shoreline, yeah.
They're more courtesy reviews because I don't know if we have any jurisdiction to do anything about them anyway. We post them here as notices, but we don't do this to them.
Even though they're within 500 feet of the county boundary.
Yeah, because it's not a local planning board that's doing it. It's not a report from the local planning board. It's a report.
Oh, I'm not talking about like this specific, but if there were, like, if there was a planning board.
I'm not sure the local planning board has any jurisdiction.
I don't.
Unless they've ceded their jurisdiction to a local board. Some local boards can come up with their own planning,
Right, yeah, so in 40.
but I don't know if 40 and I've done that. I don't know if any of the towns approved.
There's only, I just did this.
You say very few.
I think
in the
Washington,
park,
the
right?
Washington County ones don't, Warren
Right.
County ones. Yeah.
But that doesn't mean that as a planning agency, if there was a particular concern or point, we could certainly communicate that back to APA. If there was, especially if there was an issue that APA might or might not be aware of,
Mhm.
we could certainly communicate anything
I
back.
think we look at the years, they don't just disappear into the correspondence file.
Right.
Who's get shuffled around, and whose responsibility is it? They come up here so that we at least have a argument from experts here.
And I know we always wrestle, it's in 40 in the side, we always wrestle that because I know our beach up there. We have our beach, which is in 40 in the beach portion of it. You step into the water in the town hall.
Right.
It's crazy.
That's funny.
It's a good trivia question.
Mhm.
Yes, the 40, we do the 47 emails you get from the APA every week.
All right, so.
Okay, that's all we have.
Very good. Okay, is there anything else to come before the meeting today? Anybody else have anything you want to bring up? That is, 9:14 a.m. We will stand adjourned. Thank you.